The Huawei Mate X6. Right now, it's Huawei's best fold phone, and I'm gonna talk about it today. You can get it with a vegan fiber backing or a vegan leather backing. Funny enough, the vegan leather backing is also available on the OnePlus 13, which was the last video that I did. Go watch that after you watch this video if you want. Getting back to the Mate X6, it comes in Nebula Red, Nebula Gray, and Black. It comes with Huawei's X True 120Hz HDR Vivid display. The inner display can go up to 1800 nits as its peak brightness, and it's 7.9 inches, which is 0.1 inches smaller than the other fold phones, but that doesn't really make a difference. And the outer display, which is the display on the outside, and it's usually what most people are going to use, can go up to 2500 nits, and it's 6.45 inches. These fold phones are basically 2-in-1 phones. They're like mini tablets, and then they're normal flagship smartphones. The outer display is the part that most people will be using because that's usually the part that most people need. And then if they ever feel like they want to watch something on a bigger screen or they want to work on a bigger screen, they can just open it up, turning it into a mini tablet. So that's the great thing about these fold phones. They're more flexible, they're 2-in-1, like I said just now. They're usually the best when it comes to that. The flip phones, they reduce the size. The flip phones, they're for those who want even smaller phones because they probably have small pockets. They're trying to fit a bunch of stuff in their pockets, and they cut the size by half. So if you're somebody who wants better portability but with a bigger display, I'd take fold phones. If you're somebody who wants a smaller phone but still want a good inner display, I'd take flip phones. It has the second generation of Kunlun glass, which is supposed to be 25 times to the power of 8 stronger. I'm not sure if that's really true. I mean, we'd have to test it out to see if that's true. A lot of these companies will put these things down on paper just to get people to buy the phones, but we've seen lots of those accidents happen where the phones are not that strong, titanium or not. It has a 550 MPa aviation grade aluminum frame in the middle, so that's supposed to imply that it's a strong frame in the middle. It's not gonna have that snapping thing that we all know happens with the first flip phones, and that's a good thing, but it's not indestructible at the same time. The weirdest thing about these fold phones is the fact that they're the phones that can break easiest, because we all know somebody's gonna make the mistake of folding it backwards, and that's gonna make it snap for sure. So this aluminum middle frame is supposed to help with that, but I bet you the phone is still gonna receive some damage. Most fold phones don't even have water resistance, but this at least has some. It has a IPX8 2-meter water resistance, which is something, and it's gonna give you more peace of mind, unlike other fold phones that don't really have that. It has better cooling, so that means it can run for longer without overheating. It has a dual 5110 milliamp hour battery, so that means it's gonna last longer than the previous generation. It has a 66 watts charging support, which is something that you don't see on most flagship phones, and has a 50-watt wireless charging support. Most phones, like let's say the iPhone, usually has like 15, 25, depending on the iPhone you have, of wireless charging, which is crazy because Apple is supposed to be the best at wireless charging because of the MagSafe thing. You can get a MagSafe bottle, you can get so many MagSafe chargers, so that means Apple should have the best wireless charging support, but a flip phone has better wireless charging support, which is kind of sad if you think about it. It has 2 8-megapixel selfie cameras, one when it's not folded and one when it is folded, so that means you can get selfies from any angle. But if you don't want to use the camera, you can also do the classic, use the back cameras and then the outer screen to take the selfie, which is better than the 8 megapixels because you got the back rear camera. That means foldable phones can take much better selfies because they're using their back cameras, which we all know always come out better as their front cameras. Speaking of the back cameras, it has a 48 megapixel telephoto macro camera, a 40 megapixel ultra wide camera, a ultra chroma camera, and a ultra aperture camera. That means it has a 4-camera system, which is actually the same amount of cameras as the one seen on the S24 Ultra, which means that it could match the S24 Ultra's picture and video taking quality. So that means your pictures and videos will come out the same way you see it instead of something with added HDR. You can shoot within 5 centimeters of your subject, which is pretty amazing considering it does have that macro camera. It's like that with human eyes. When you get close to something, it starts to get blurred out. And of course it gets blurred out when you get within 5 centimeters, but that means that you can get pretty close to what you're trying to shoot and still get pretty good quality photos and videos. It can also shoot at 0.5 ultra wide, which is amazing, and it can also shoot at 4K. Not many flagships can shoot at 8K, which is honestly okay because not much people are going to be shooting in 8K anyway unless you're trying to make a movie with your phone, which not much people are going to be trying to do. But if you ever do feel like you want to shoot at 8K, it would be useful to have it. But as of now, there's not that much phones that do have 8K support, but one of them for sure is the S24 Ultra. That's the most popular 8K supporting camera. It has lots and lots of good multitasking capabilities, and one of those abilities is the fact that you can have 3 open apps at the very same time and you can switch between them live. So that means you can open up 3 apps, and let's say you're grinding on a game, but then you're trying to watch a video, but then you're trying to do some work at the very same time. You can open up all 3 apps. It also depends on the apps and their multitasking support. There's a smart controls button, which is very similar to the action button on an iPhone. And not only that, it has AI messaging. It's not technically AI messaging. What it does, it keeps your messages hidden when it detects that somebody else is looking at your screen, which is amazing because then if you have an embarrassing message, which we all do eventually, that person that's looking at your screen won't see it. But it's also creepy because that means that the phone camera is looking at you at all times. I mean, that's not good when you're talking about technology, right? Technology is a black box, as the old folks like to say. It's not just that. Did you know that on the S24 Ultra, it's the same thing with the camera watching you at all times? If you're trying to upload a YouTube video through your S24 Ultra, when it's uploading it to YouTube, if you're not looking at the screen will dim and it's going to shut off while you're exporting. But if you are looking at the screen, then it won't. That also means that the camera is looking at you at all times on the S24 Ultra. Now, it's very hard to identify these things, but if you think deeply about certain phones and its abilities, you'll realize that that means the camera is looking at you at all times. And I'm starting to wonder if that's one of the reasons why the phones don't have even better battery life. Because we all know that the thing that usually takes up the most battery on our phones is the cameras. So if that's basically on at all times, then that's gonna crunch some of the battery life. It has AI noise cancellation when you're in calls, which is something usually limited to Bluetooth headphones, so that's amazing. It also can shoot at 100 times zoom. That's something that I didn't mention before, but it can do that. And that just comes to show that that feature isn't something only limited to the S24 Ultra. There's lots of other phones that can do that too, and the Mat X6 is one of them. It runs MUI 15 OS, and it has 12 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. This is one of those phones that makes you realize that the S24 Ultra and the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 9 Pro and the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold are not the best phones, and that there are other good smartphone companies that actually have, in some cases, better features than the ones that everybody thinks are the best. Now, imagine all of these features on the S24 Ultra and iPhone 16 Pro Max. Then they would be the best. Then I say that. But they still are in the top 5. I still think that the S24 Ultra is the best. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes second because honestly, in the end, they provide more features and they provide more of the features that you need. Most of the other smartphone companies are lagging behind in AI, and that's usually why you hear more about Galaxy AI, Apple Intelligence, and Google Gemini. So I wonder what it's going to be like when the other smartphone companies catch up. That was it for this video. Be sure to watch my OnePlus 13 video, which shows what they show us before January 7th on the OnePlus 13 series. I will post another video about the OnePlus 13 series after January 7th when they give us more details about the new features and the new phones. And I will see you guys in the next one. But before I go, please share this video with somebody that you know will enjoy it. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. It could be a question, not too personal, but it doesn't even have to be about this video's topic. It could be about another video's topic or another question about a video that I didn't do yet. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.